Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are doing something a little different.
Oh, yeah.
Usually we talk about things happening out there in the economy, in history. But today, we're looking at something that might be happening, well, right now. Literally 3 feet away from you.
Maybe even on the device you're using to listen.
Exactly. It's a comforting thought, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about the apocalypse, but the digital kind. Our source material today is just packed with one specific word: zombie.
Right.
And we're not talking about, The Walking Dead. We're talking about your laptop, your smart fridge, living a secret double life. We're talking about botnets.
And zombie isn't just a buzzword. In cybersecurity, it's a pretty accurate descriptor. We're looking at a situation where your tech gets hijacked. It's still your computer, it has your photos, but it's not entirely under your control anymore.
That's the part that really stuck with me from the reading. A botnet isn't just a virus that, breaks your computer.
No, it's a structure. It's organized.
Yeah, the sources define it as a cyber attack involving a large group of infected devices controlled by a hacker, which feels a little dry, honestly. It feels more like an involuntary conscription.
That's a much better way to frame it. An involuntary digital army.
Right.
Think of it like a hive mind. Individually, these bots, which are just infected computers, they're weak. But the hacker, the botherter, controls thousands, maybe millions of them. And the really scary part is the stealth.
The without the owner's knowledge part. That's the real scare factor here. My laptop could be sitting here looking totally normal, but in the background, is it moonlighting as a cyber criminal?
It's entirely possible. And that's what makes this threat so insidious. Unlike, say, ransomware, where they lock your screen and demand money.
Where it's very obvious.
Very obvious. A botnet operator wants you to stay completely oblivious. They need your electricity or internet connection. If you know they're there, you'll kick them out. So they stay quiet. You aren't the target. You're the weapon.
You aren't the target. You're the weapon. That is going to stick with me. Okay, so our mission today has to be dismantling this. Let's unpack how these devices get recruited, what they're forced to do, and how we can stop it.
We have to follow the life cycle. Infection, command, and then attack.
All right, let's start with recruitment. How does a hacker get inside? The sources point to the usual suspects: phishing, bad downloads, but it seems like the tactics are getting smarter than the old Nigerian prince email.
Oh, much smarter. Phishing is still a huge entry point, a link that looks like a FedEx alert or something from your bank. But now we're seeing more drive-by downloads.
That sounds aggressive.
It is, in a digital sense. You could visit a website you trust, maybe a blog you read every day, but it's been compromised. Just loading the page lets a malicious script scan your browser for holes and inject the malware. You didn't click anything, you just showed up.
So the old Trojan horse analogy, where you willingly bring the gift inside, is almost too generous. This is more like leaving your window cracked open.
That's a great comparison. And then there's the fake update. That one is pure social engineering. A pop-up that says, your browser is out of date, click here to secure it. It looks real.
And we're all trained to click update because we think we're doing the right thing for security.
We're handing them the keys, and once that malware is in, the device transforms. It connects to what we call the C2, the command and control server.
That sounded very military in the research. It's not just a virus running wild, it's phoning home.
It has to. A bot is useless if the hacker can't tell it what to do. So your infected computer sends out a little signal, a beacon, back to the hacker's server. It's basically saying, asset number 4592, I'm online, awaiting instructions.
But wouldn't that be easy to spot? A weird connection that's always open.
That's the cat and mouse game. These signals are designed to look like normal web traffic. Or they might just stay dormant for days, like a sleeper agent, only waking up when the hacker sends out a command to the entire network.
The sleeper agent detail is fascinating. The source mentions that an individual device may show little sign of infection. It's strategic patience.
It's all about asset preservation. If your computer fan starts screaming and your mouse freezes, you'll fix it, right? The hacker loses a bot. But if they only use, say, 10% of your processing power at 3 a.m., you'll probably never know.
But the real power is in the numbers. One zombie is a problem. A million is.
A superpower, exactly. Together, they form a powerful attack network. Scale is everything. You can't take down Amazon with one laptop. But with 10 million, now you have a weapon of mass disruption.
Okay, let's talk about that weaponization. We've been recruited, we've phoned home, now the order comes down. The source lists a few common activities, but the big one is the DDoS attack.
Distributed denial of service.
I always think of this as a digital traffic jam, but is that analogy big enough?
It's a traffic jam where every car is a tank, and it's on purpose. Imagine a store with one front door. A DDoS attack isn't just a crowd. It's 10,000 people all trying to get through that door at the exact same millisecond. And they're not there to buy anything. They're just there to block it.
So the real customers, the legitimate traffic, they can't get in.
The whole system just collapses under the load. And the distributed part is key. The attack is coming from an IP address in Tokyo, one in London, one in Ohio, a million different places at once. You can't just block one bad actor.
You have to shut off the whole world to stop it.
Precisely. And sometimes they use something called amplification.
Sounds like the zombies are bringing megaphones.
That's a perfect way to put it. The botnet tricks other innocent servers into shouting at the victim. So a tiny request from the botnet results in a massive, overwhelming response aimed at the target. It turns a small army into a deafening roar.
And my computer is one of the ones holding a megaphone. Okay, so besides crashing websites, the sources list, spam, and phishing, this feels circular, almost like a pyramid scheme.
It's the reproductive cycle of the botnet. Hackers rent their botnets to spammers. That email for cheap pharmaceuticals, it didn't come from the scammer's laptop. It came from a grandmother's iPad in Wisconsin.
So the zombies are used to recruit more zombies.
Correct. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem.
Then we have credential stuffing and brute force attacks. This sounds more like breaking and entering.
This is where the raw computing power of the botnet comes into play. A brute force attack is just guessing a password over and over. 00000000002. A human can't do it fast enough. A botnet can try millions of combinations a second across thousands of machines.
And stuffing.
That's simpler. It relies on us using the same password everywhere. When one website gets hacked and the passwords leak, the botnet takes that list of emails and passwords and just stuffs them into every other login page on the internet. Your bank, your email, Netflix.
To see where else the key fits.
Exactly. And because it's coming from thousands of different IP addresses, it doesn't trigger the too many failed logins alarm. It just looks like 1,000 different people all trying to log in once.
That is incredibly clever and really frustrating. Okay, let's talk fallout. The source highlights personal risk. It says, and I'm quoting, "Use your device for crime without your knowledge."
And this is a very gray area.
Let's play this out.
Yeah.
My computer is used to hack a bank. The FBI traces the IP address, and they come to my house.
They do. Now, forensics are good. They can usually tell your device was compromised. But do you want to be part of that investigation? Have your equipment seized? It's a legal nightmare. You're the point of origin for a crime.
And then there's just the performance hit. You mentioned the fan spinning, but it's more than that, right?
It's your bandwidth. If your bot is being used in a DDoS attack, your Netflix is going to buffer. Your Zoom calls will drop. You'll blame your internet provider, but the call is coming from inside the house.
You're paying for the electricity and the internet that a criminal is using?
You are subsidizing your own exploitation and wearing out your hardware in the process.
That's the kicker. I'm paying the bill for the guy robbing the bank. Okay, enough doom and gloom. How do we lock the doors?
Yeah.
The source has a section called the shield. First up, keep devices and apps updated.
The vegetables of the digital diet. We all hate doing it.
But why does it actually work?
Most updates aren't for new features. They're for patching holes. Think of software as Swiss cheese. Hackers find those holes and write code to slip through. An update is the developer filling that hole with concrete.
So when I hit remind me tomorrow, I'm just leaving the hole open.
For another 24 hours.
All right.
And there are automated scanners crawling the internet looking for that specific unpatched version of your software. You're basically glowing on their radar.
Okay, next, reputable antivirus. Is that just a bouncer at the door?
It's a bouncer, but it's also an immune system. It doesn't just look for known threats. It looks for weird behavior. Like, why is your calculator app suddenly trying to connect to a server in another country?
That would be suspicious.
Antivirus should catch that.
All right, now for the one I think we're all guilty of. The source says, secure home routers and smart devices.
This is the new frontier, the Internet of Things, or IoT.
The smart toasters, the Wi-Fi light bulbs.
Exactly. We're so focused on our laptops, but we plug in a smart security camera and just leave it. The source hints at this, but the classic example is the Mirai botnet. It didn't infect computers, it infected smart cameras and routers.
Because they have weak passwords.
Not even weak ones, default ones. The manual says username, admin, password, and almost nobody changes it.
I mean, who logs into their light bulb to change the admin settings?
Nobody. And hackers know this. They have scripts that do nothing but scan the internet trying admin password on every device they can find. It's effortless.
So we're buying devices that are basically pre-recruited.
In many cases, yes. The security is an afterthought, so the advice is critical. If it connects to Wi-Fi, you have to change the default password immediately.
That's really solid advice. Okay, finally, the golden rule. Two-factor authentication, 2FA.
This is the kryptonite for credential stuffing.
Because it breaks the automation.
Precisely. The botnet can guess your password correctly, but then it hits a wall. The bank says, great, now enter the 6-digit code we just texted to the owner's phone.
And the botnet does not have my phone.
It doesn't have that second factor. The attack just stops. It completely dismantles their business model for that type of attack.
It's such a small step for us, but it's a huge barrier for them.
It just raises the cost. Hackers look for low-hanging fruit. 2FA makes you high-hanging fruit.
Okay, so to recap the survival guide, update everything, don't click on weird stuff, change the password on your smart fridge, and turn on 2FA everywhere you can.
It sounds like a lot, but it's just digital hygiene. It's the new version of locking your front door.
As we wrap up, I'm thinking about the future. We're kicking more and more things to the internet every day, our cars, our watches.
And that's the final thought I want to leave people with. The attack surface is growing exponentially. Every time we invent a new smart device, we are potentially creating a new soldier for these botnets. The biggest attacks in history were powered by these cheap, insecure devices.
So as we rush toward this future where our coffee maker talks to our alarm clock,
We have to ask, are we building a smarter home, or are we just building a larger, pre-built army for the next cyber attack? Because if we don't demand security, the zombie apocalypse won't be fiction. It'll just be the reason you're locked out of your own house.
on that terrifyingly plausible note, we're going to disconnect.
Yeah.
Secure your routers, people.
And change your passwords.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.